Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters video. Alright, another entry here based on one of your newer suggestions. I have been going now with some of the newer suggestions more this go around because there have been some really good ones, some very fascinating ones that I would love to share with everyone here. I'm still going to delve into some of the past ones throughout some of the future videos, so be on the lookout for those. But yeah, this stuff is just too good to share, so absolutely thank you so much for your continued suggestions. This one has to do with yet another Inuit mythological creature that has some very interesting info to share. I just spoke about another type Inuit creature a couple of weeks back, the Quaikern, which I'll include the link for it below if you're interested in seeing that and seeing how much they seem to almost not mimic, but you can see how the cultures have the same type of creatures. But this one is a creature of sorts that is more along the lines of be careful or you'll run into this type creature tale, involving letting them know, children in other words, how to stay away from these creatures so that way they don't do bad things. It has to do with this. You're looking at it right now, very distinctive look. I hope I'm saying it right. Again, this is another creature, another cryptid with a unique name. It's called the Qalupalik. Again, I hope I'm saying it right, but at least I hope that's how it sounds like. Qalupalik. And again, it is an Inuit mythological creature of some sort. So here is all the information tied to it. So what is this Qalupalik? Well, it's a creature that has been around for apparently a long time. They're within the Inuit culture. It's described as being more along the lines of human-like, which you can see from those drawings there. But, of course, anything involving cryptids, there's a slight tweak. It seems like it takes on a more ghoulish appearance with regards to its look. So it has long, strangly type hair, the kind that seems unruly, the kind that just outright just seems evil-looking of some sort. It has a greenish, huish skin, almost like a reptile or something involving a creature, I guess, within the sea. And then most distinctly, it has these long fingernails as well. So these fingernails it uses, you'll see some of the pictures here, it uses it to latch onto the ice, since this is a creature that pretty much only delves underneath the water, the Arctic ice waters. And then that way, whenever it's ready to pounce, it can use these very long fingernails to grab hold of the ice as it makes sure it takes along its prey. So, as I was mentioning earlier, this is more like a warning tale of some sort with regards to Inuit parents and their children. Because here's the whole idea. These Qalupaliks carry something that's called an Amauit. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Amauit. This one is a pouch. I'll just refer to it as a pouch from here on out, that Inuit parents wear whenever it comes to carrying their children. It's no doubt a pouch that not only protects the children from the cold weather, but also, of course, allows the parents to carry them anywhere that they are traveling themselves. But children being children, there's the notion that sometimes they want to get away from their parents and they want to just innocently just look around wherever their environment is, and then that way they can explore. But parents, of course, being parents, know the dangers out there in this world, especially if you're dealing with, in this case, the very harsh conditions there in the Arctic areas. Have a child that goes out way too long or far too long out there, they could get lost, and then that's it. They're pretty much on their own, and there's little hope afterward for that child. So, according to this mythological tale, parents came up with this Qalupalik as a way to let the children know, do not disobey me in terms of going out way too far, because if you do, you'll run into this creature. Now, how much of, let's say, this is just a tall tale of sorts, just to warn children not to venture far away, convincingly almost, because you know how children, you can tell them any type tales, and in their mind, at least at that age, they'll believe that it's 100% real, or how much of this is actually truly a creature that people have spotted. That I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any indication that there's a clear separation between the two. So maybe they're a mixture of both. Maybe this Qalupalik absolutely was a creature or is a creature that has been around for a long time there in the Arctic Circle area, and it's just taken on its own folklore type tale where it's just material that can also be shared to children, truly, to make sure that they don't wander off at the same time. But yes, the reasoning for that is because the Qalupalik absolutely loves both babies and children of the Inuit parents. So it'll look out for them out there in the Arctic circles. It'll try to see anybody that happens to wander away from their parents, and when that happens, then it'll rise up straight from the ice, which kind of, if you can imagine, I mean, these things would be underneath the ice itself, which is a pretty horrifying situation because any human that's, let's say, on top of the ice can't see underneath them, but any of these Qalupaliks underneath the ice can see above them. So imagine that scenario. They'll just simply wait for the right opportunity, and then boom, they'll just simply pounce out from the actual ice or the waters, grab the child, and then that's it. They're gone. Presumably to either A, feast on them, or B, do something else entirely different, like either outright kill them for other purposes. Who knows? But I wasn't able to find much information as to why they necessarily steal or try to steal these children and babies. But presumably, like any other tale involving cryptids that are more set as warnings, it's not a good outcome. But you do have one actual chance when it comes to this Qalupalik. I guess it's their weakness. Much like the average shark has that giant fin on top of their body, which allows anybody to see them coming from a little bit miles away. This Qalupalik, has a weakness, and in this case, it's a distinctive humming sound of some sort. So, if you're in those Arctic Circle areas and you happen to hear this strange humming, very distinctive humming of some sort, then you'll know that you're in the presence of a Qalupalik, and so that's when you have to be a little bit more careful, watch your surroundings, or make sure that at least if you have a chance to look underneath you and you can see underneath the ice towards the clear waters, try to look for anything that looks just like the cryptid that I described and the features associated with them. No mention though if these Qalupaliks actually go after humans, like adult humans themselves, but presumably if they can do something involving small babies and then children, there wouldn't be much of a stretch to think that yes, they could go after ordinary humans, let's say adults as well. But yes, they've taken on other mediums, I'm sorry, when it comes to this Qalupalik. So they've been in various films. There was a stop motion animation short that was dedicated to this Qalupalik. I saw a video game as well online that seems to be again featuring this mythological creature. There have been books too. A book that's called A Promise is a Promise that was written by an author named Michael Kusugak, and in it shows something in terms of a battle between I guess the main person, the main hero, and one of the Qalupaliks as well. And even then, there's been artwork, if you can believe it, that has been dedicated to it. I mean, obviously you're seeing drawings of the Qalupalik, but in this case, it's more along the lines of fine art. It's almost like the paintings you would see plastered within an exhibit hall. In this case, there's others that have been dedicated to this mythological creature too. So it's pretty interesting to read all this, because I had no idea about the existence of this cryptid, but yet there it is, another perfect example of certain regions in this world where they have a monster slash cryptid that is absolutely far more popular there than anywhere else in this world. But that's it. That's pretty much all the info tied to this very unique creature, this almost boogeyman of sorts within the Inuit region. If anyone has any more info, anybody, maybe relatives that happen to be from that area that know of this creature or know of the traits, the legends, the tales associated with it, please post those comments below. That would be very, very good to hear. So, alright everybody, thanks again as always. Take care.